when we talk about the impact of Citizens United and we talk about the flood of money coming in from the billionaire class into the political process, it's important to talk about the Koch brothers. The issue is the impact that this billionaire family, the second wealthiest family in America, is having on the political process. And second of all, and even more importantly, what do they stand for? Who are they? The Koch brothers provided the main source of funding for the creation of the Tea Party. The Koch brothers want to repeal the Affordable Care Act. The Koch brothers want to repeal virtually every major piece of legislation that has been passed in the last 80 years to help the middle class, to help working families, to help the elderly, to help the children. He said, we favor the repeal, this is right up here, we favor the repeal of the fraudulent, virtually bankrupt, and increasingly oppressive Social Security system. Reality is that Social Security is probably the most successful federal program in the history of our country. Before Social Security was created, nearly half of seniors lived in poverty. Today, while still too high, that number is 9.1%. We favor the abolition of Medicare and Medicaid. If you don't have a lot of money, how are you going to get the health care that you need? Well, you know what? You may not. Because according to the Koch brothers, the federal government should not be involved in public health insurance programs like Medicare and Medicaid. And what happens if you're a low-income person? What happens if your kid is on the Children's Health Insurance Program? The view of the Koch brothers is that we should end Medicare and Medicaid. So again, when you see ads on television, understand who is paying for that. It is absolutely imperative that we raise the minimum wage. I think $10.10, the bill that we had on the floor last week, is a start. I would go further. But I think most Americans understand that a family, breadwinner in a family who's making all of $7.25 an hour or $14,000, $15,000 a year, that is no wage upon which anyone can live. Their debate is we should repeal the concept of the minimum wage. This is their philosophy. Quote, we oppose all government welfare, relief projects, and aid to the poor programs. What they are saying is they want to get rid of food stamps. They want to get rid of all nutrition programs, all affordable housing programs, Meals on Wheels programs, which help vulnerable seniors, congregate meal programs, Head Start, which obviously is important to millions of working families and their children. So you ask, well, what happens if I am hungry? And there is no food stamp program because they want to get rid of all of these programs because they think the federal government should not be involved in these issues. What do we do when people are hungry, when they can't find jobs? Well, they can go to their local church, they can go to their local charity, and maybe they'll get some help, maybe they won't. In other words, we are back to the days of Charles Dickens. We are back to the days of Charles Dickens where ordinary people and lower income people have no rights and no benefits. And the only way they get help is if some charity is there to dole out some money to them. I just wanted to point out to what degree these folks, who are worth at least $80 billion, whose wealth increased last year by $12 billion, who have indicated that they are prepared to spend as much as it takes to elect people who, to some degree or another, I'm sure that not all of the candidates they support agree with everything they say. But they know what they're doing. They're smart. So they are spending huge sums of money to create an America in which the wealthiest people will get huge tax breaks while working families, the middle class, the elderly, the children, and the sick will be left out on the street all by themselves. That is not the vision of America that the American people believe in. I doubt that there are 5 or 10% of the American people who believe in that vision, maybe less than that. But when you have $80 billion and you're worth that much, and when you can spend unlimited sums of money, you will have a huge impact on the political process. And you will have candidates who talk about this perspective, who defend this point of view, because that's where their money for campaigns comes from, rather than talking about the needs of working families or ordinary Americans.